Your marketing is failing because you are trying to sell your product. This sounds like a paradox, but it is the single greatest reason why an estimated $200 billion in global ad spend will be completely wasted this year. Lit on fire. Shouted into a void. Most companies are convinced they have a marketing problem. They believe the solution is a better-looking ad, a bigger budget, or a new, trending social media channel. But they are wrong. They don't have a marketing problem. They have a fundamental misunderstanding of what marketing is. The best practices you have been taught are a roadmap to irrelevance. The truth is, your biggest competitor is not another company. It is the skip ad button. It is the thumb scrolling past your post. It is the deeply trained, neurological banner blindness that makes your expensive creative work literally invisible. You are spending more money than ever to be ignored. For most of modern business history, marketing was a straightforward game. A one-way monologue. If you were a company in the 1960s, you made a product. You hired a brilliant agency. You bought a 30-second television spot in the middle of a show that 30 million people were watching, because they had no other choice. It was the golden age of interruption. Brands were built on the brute force of repetition and reach. And it worked. That world is dead. The media landscape did not just change, it shattered. We went from 3 television channels to 300 to 3 million. The invention of the internet, and then the social feed, performed the single greatest power shift in business history. Power left the boardroom and was handed to the individual. Today, we are bombarded by an estimated 4,000 to 10,000 marketing messages every single day. We have become masters of curation. We pay for subscriptions to avoid ads. We install ad blockers to eliminate them. We have been so relentlessly interrupted that our brains have evolved to automatically filter out anything that even looks like a sales pitch. And yet, in this same deafening, chaotic environment, a few brands manage to break through. They don't just get our attention, they get our permission. They build fanatical, cult-like followings. Their marketing doesn't feel like an interruption. It feels like a discovery. It feels like help. So why do 99% of companies get ignored, while a select few build empires? What is the invisible line that separates the signal from the noise? And why are the strategies you've been taught as best practice the very things causing you to fail? That's the question we're answering today. To understand why your marketing is failing, we have to dismantle the 4 fundamental, broken pillars that most modern strategies are still built upon. There is a famous quote from the late Harvard Business School professor Theodore Levitt. He said, "People don't want to buy a quarter-inch drill. They want to buy a quarter-inch hole." This is the single most important concept in all of marketing, and it is the one most commonly ignored. Your customers do not care about your product. They do not care about its features, its specifications, or its patented, proprietary technology. They only care about themselves, and the problem they are trying to solve. A failing strategy focuses on the product. It is obsessed with what the product is. Our new software has an AI-powered, multi-user dashboard and real-time data integration. The customer doesn't know what that means, and they don't care. A winning strategy focuses on the outcome. Our software saves you 10 hours of manual, mind-numbing data entry every single week, so you can leave the office at 5 p.m. and get home in time for dinner with your family. The customer isn't buying your software. They are buying back their time. They are buying an escape from a task they hate. They are buying a feeling of control, peace, and professional competence. This is the core of the Jobs to be Done framework, a concept refined by legendary strategist Clay Christensen. His research showed that customers hire products to do a specific job. His classic example was the milkshake. A fast food chain wanted to improve its milkshake sales. They asked their customers, "How can we make this better? Should it be thicker? Cheaper? More flavors?" They got feedback, implemented it, and nothing changed. When they finally observed why people were buying milkshakes, they found a shocking pattern. A huge percentage of milkshakes were sold before 9 a.m. to people who were alone and who got in their car and drove away. They weren't buying a milkshake. They were hiring it for the job of making a long, boring morning commute more interesting. It was a thick, viscous liquid that took 20 minutes to suck through a thin straw. It gave them something to do with their hands. It staved off hunger until lunch. Its competitors were not other milkshakes. Its competitors were bananas, donuts, and bagels. The milkshake did the commute job better than any of them. This changes the entire lens of marketing. You must understand the difference between features, benefits, and transformation. A feature is a fact about your product. This drill has a 2 amp-hour lithium-ion battery. A benefit is what that feature does for the user. You can drill 200 holes on a single charge. A transformation is who the user becomes. You become a competent, self-sufficient homeowner who can finally complete that weekend project and feel proud of your home. Apple has always been the master of this. In 2001, the MP3 player market was a confusing mess of feature-driven marketing. Brands like Nomad Zen were advertising 5 gigabytes of storage. It was meaningless technical jargon. What did Steve Jobs do? He stood on a stage and gave the world a transformation. iPod. 1,000 songs in your pocket. He didn't sell the feature, the gigabytes. He sold the outcome. He sold the magic. He sold a personal soundtrack for your life. Your marketing is failing because you are in love with your drill. You are describing, in loving detail, its brushless motor and ergonomic grip. But your customer is standing right next to you, and all they want to know is, can this thing help me hang a picture of my family? In a desperate quest for market share, most companies cast the widest net possible. They define their target market as everyone, aged 18 to 65. Their brand voice is a generic, inoffensive, corporate monotone, designed to appeal to all and offend none. Their strategy is to be on every social media channel, all at once. The result is a diluted, invisible, and forgettable brand. By trying to resonate with everyone, they resonate with no one. The most powerful marketing strategies of the modern era are not built on breadth. They are built on depth. They are a masterclass in strategic sacrifice. The goal is not to reach the most people. The goal is to matter the most to the right people. This is the concept of the minimum viable audience. Instead of chasing a mass market that no longer exists, you find the smallest possible group of people who need what you have. The true fans. The niche. You focus all your energy, all your resources, on delighting this tiny group. Take the water brand Liquid Death. The bottled water industry was a sea of sameness. Every brand, from Fiji to Evian, sells purity, serenity, tranquility, and images of pristine glacial mountains. Liquid Death did the exact opposite. They sacrificed 99% of the market to appeal to a tiny, ignored niche: punk rockers, metalheads, artists, and skaters. People who find traditional wellness culture completely unrelatable. Their slogan is "Murder Your Thirst." Their water comes in a tallboy beer can, covered in melting skulls. Their marketing is absurd, irreverent, and built for a counterculture identity. They didn't try to appeal to yoga enthusiasts or suburban parents. They actively repelled them. This act of strategic sacrifice is what made them magnetic to their core audience. That small, passionate tribe became a fanatical army of evangelists, who then dragged the brand into the mainstream, to a valuation of over $1 billion. This is why the famous Gap rebrand of 2010 was such a spectacular failure. Gap was the definition of a brand for everyone. They were the default for basic, inoffensive clothing. But in the 2000s, they got attacked from all sides. Uniqlo beat them on quality basics. Zara and H&M beat them on fast fashion trends. By being stuck in the middle, Gap lost its identity. So, in 2010, they unveiled a new, bland, corporate logo. The public backlash was instantaneous and brutal. They had no core tribe to defend it. They had no true fans. They were a brand for everyone, which meant they were a brand for no one. The new logo lasted 6 days. Your marketing is failing because you are afraid to have an opinion. You are afraid to exclude anyone. Strategy is not just about what you do, it's about what you don't do. Until you have the courage to repel one audience, you will never truly build a cult for another. The old model of marketing was built on interruption. It was about buying your way in. You forced your message in front of people's eyeballs by purchasing a 30-second slot in the middle of their favorite TV show. This is outbound marketing. It is a one-way, company-centric monologue. And today, it is dying. The winning model is built on attraction. It is about earning your way in. This is inbound marketing. Instead of interrupting the thing your customer is interested in, you become the thing they are interested in. The goal is to provide so much value, for free, that your customers find you on their own. Look at Red Bull. Are they a beverage company or a media company? They produce entire feature films. They host the most extreme sporting events on Earth. They run a music academy. They don't just market to their culture, they are their culture. They don't interrupt the Super Bowl, they create their own events that are more interesting to their audience than the Super Bowl. They are giving their audience endless value in the form of entertainment. The energy drink is just the souvenir. A more accessible example is HubSpot. HubSpot sells complex, expensive marketing and sales software. In the old world, they would have hired a massive sales team to cold call thousands of chief marketing officers. Instead, what did they do? They built a blog. They started giving away their knowledge, their expertise, for free. They wrote the definitive how-to guide on every marketing topic imaginable. They created free templates. They built free tools. Today, if you are a marketer and you Google any question, how to write a blog post, best email marketing templates, you will land on a HubSpot article. They have built an empire by being the most helpful, generous teacher in their industry. By the time a customer is finally ready to buy software, HubSpot isn't a stranger. They are the trusted, authoritative guide who has already helped that person solve a dozen of their problems. They didn't need to interrupt their customers came to them for help. They earned the right to make the sale. This is the failure of the banner ad. The very first banner ad, in 1994, had a 78 click-through rate. Today, the average is 0.05. We have literally trained our brains to not see them. Your marketing is failing because you are still shouting at people. The winners are quietly whispering, "I'm here to help," and building an audience that is eager to listen. The final, fatal flaw is treating marketing like a transaction, when it is a relationship. Most advertising is built like a first date where you immediately ask for marriage. "Hi, I'm a brand you've never heard of. Buy my 500 product. Now." It's a pop-up ad demanding a purchase. It's a cold email asking for a 30-minute demo. This ignores the fundamental psychology of trust. Customers do not go from stranger to buyer in a single step. They go on a journey. A winning strategy understands this journey. It is a process of nurturing a relationship, step by step. A failing strategy only targets the decision stage, competing with every other brand on price and features, right at the finish line. A winning strategy meets the customer at the very beginning, at their awareness stage. At this stage, the customer doesn't even know your product exists. They are simply aware they have a problem. "I'm tired all the time." A bad marketer runs an ad, "Buy our premium coffee." A great marketer creates a blog post, 5 reasons you're tired every morning, and how to fix them. You provide value. You build trust. You help the customer diagnose their own problem. Then, you guide them to the consideration stage, where they are researching solutions. Should I try a new diet? A new mattress? Better coffee? Here, you offer them a free ebook, the ultimate guide to brewing coffee for maximum energy. You are helping them become a more educated buyer, in exchange for their email. Only then, after you have established yourself as a trusted advisor, do you introduce your product at the decision stage. You send them a relevant, helpful email. You've read our guides. You're ready. Here is a 15% discount on your first order of the high-energy blend we've been teaching you about. This is not a high-pressure sales pitch. It is the logical, helpful next step in a relationship you have patiently built. Your marketing is failing because you are treating your customers like a target. The winners are treating them like a partner. So, let's connect all of these threads. We have 4 massive, systemic failures. The first is a failure of empathy. You are selling your drill, not the customer's hole. You haven't taken the time to truly understand their real problem. The second is a failure of courage. You are trying to be for everyone, which means you stand for nothing. You are afraid to repel anyone, so you attract no one. The third is a failure of generosity. You are interrupting people and demanding their attention, instead of generously providing value and earning their attention. And the fourth is a failure of patience. You are asking for the sale on the first date, treating the customer as a transaction, not as a human being to build a relationship with. And that is the secret. All of these failures are symptoms of one single, underlying disease. Your marketing is all about you. It's about your company, your product, your features, your sales targets. This is the fundamental reason why you are failing. You have made yourself the hero of the story. Successful marketing is not about you. It is about your customer. The customer is the hero of the story. Your brand is not the hero. Your brand is the guide. Think of any great story. Luke Skywalker is the hero. Yoda is the guide. Harry Potter is the hero. Dumbledore is the guide. The guide's job is not to slay the dragon. The guide's job is to understand the hero's problem, give them a plan, and provide them with the tools, wisdom, and encouragement to slay the dragon themselves. When you shift your entire perspective, from being the hero to being the guide, everything changes. You stop talking about your product's features and start talking about the customer's new future. You stop trying to appeal to everyone and start focusing on your hero's specific problem. You stop interrupting them and start helping them. You stop selling, and you start guiding. If you're having that aha moment and are starting to see marketing in a new light, take a second to support the channel by hitting the like button and subscribing. It helps us guide more people to these insights. The brilliance of this customer-centric model, this guide model, is that it is fundamentally a more honest and sustainable way to grow a business. It's not about tricks or hacks. It's about a deep, structural alignment of your success with your customer's success. You can only win if they win first. This completely redefines the role of a marketer. The marketer is no longer in the arts and crafts department, making things look pretty. The marketer becomes the primary advocate for the customer inside the company. They are the voice of the hero. They are the chief empathy officer. The broader business principle here is a masterclass in the shift from interruption to permission, and from reach to trust. In the 20th century, the most valuable asset a company could own was the means of production, the factory. In the 21st century, the most valuable asset a company can own is trust. Attention is a byproduct of trust. And trust is the single hardest thing to earn, and the easiest thing to lose. The lesson is that the most powerful marketing secret in the world is not a new technology, a new social media platform, or a clever hack. It is the ancient, timeless, and relentlessly difficult practice of genuinely caring about the person you are trying to serve, and then building your entire business around that empathy. If you learned something new, hit the like button and subscribe for more strategy breakdowns. And let us know in the comments, what company's strategy should we unlock next?